All right, figurative language part 2, going over the rest of types of figurative language that we should know. Yes, some of them will probably be very familiar, but it's always good to kind of refresh and think about how to use these things. So take notes as we go, check over the examples, and if there's questions on here or questions you have, see if you can answer them. We're going to start with our favorite, alliteration. A lot of people like this one. The official definition, the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. This is to emphasize words or mimic sounds. Keep in mind, alliteration is about a sound, not just a letter. Because if we look at our example here, Sally sells seashells by the seashore. We're getting that S sound repeatedly, and it's kind of interesting because that S sound kind of makes me think of waves going over the sand, so it makes me think I'm at the seashore. But she also sells cinnamon rolls. Now, cinnamon rolls clearly starts with a C, but it mimics that same S sound, so this is still considered alliteration. And notice the words are close together or very closely related, and they're intentionally done. That's what alliteration is all about. Our next one we're going to talk about is an idiom. Another thing idioms are called are sometimes just sayings. The official definition is a group of words established by usage as having a meaning that you cannot figure out from the meanings of individual words. So basically, if you were to hear this sentence or this phrase literally, it would make absolutely no sense. But as a society or as a culture, we kind of know what we mean by this. It is very specific. It is an accepted meaning in a specific culture or language. For example, it's raining cats and dogs. Now, we know it is not literally raining cats and dogs from the sky, but we as a society use it to mean it's raining really, really heavy. Like it feels like these kind of animals are dropping because it's heavy rain and things like that. So if a person learning English were to hear that, they'd be like, wait, what? But we know what it means. That's what an idiom is. Imagery is not officially figurative language, but it goes along with figurative language. It's representing objects, actions, and ideas in such a way that it appeals to our physical senses. Physical senses meaning our five senses, like hearing, seeing, touch, taste, and I forgot which other one is, but the five senses. So the idea is that these can help, simile, metaphor, personification, all the others, to help us appeal to the senses, or sometimes the other things will help us understand the imagery. We have a few examples. Thinking about children were screaming and shouting. The screaming and shouting help us to think about hearing, so our auditory sense. Those are really important. Oh, smell was the other one I was trying to think of before. So anytime it kind of helps us imagine, picture, and brings us in through the senses, usually pretty often is imagery. Oh yeah, we have another example here. The girl ran her hands on soft satin fabric. The soft is touch, so we can kind of like imagine the feeling here. All right, onomatopoeia is also all about the sound, which is a word which imitates the natural sound of a thing, kind of creating a sound effect that mimics what's described, which makes the description more expressive and interesting. So down here we have a little picture of the wind going through the leaves, and I'm hoping you can kind of imagine that sound of the leaves brushing against each other. I could call this the rustling of the leaves, because as the leaves go against each other, they kind of make that crunchy, rustly type sound. But we don't have a real great word for it, so the word rustling kind of sounds like that. These are the crash, bang, boom type words, but they can get more fun and more serious than just those simple ones. And that is it for all of our words right now. Hopefully we can see these being used in different poems. When you notice them, pay attention to how poets are using them. What are they trying to point out, help you see or focus on? And what else are they trying to help you understand?